Right. Happy Wednesday, yogis. So I am Jody, also known as the bipolar yogi. We have a lot of new members in the group this week. So I just want to let you know who I am and why I'm here and why I'm doing this. I started this group because yoga truly changed my life. Once I was diagnosed as an addendum to my medication, it's really transformed who I am and how I show up every day. And I felt compelled to share that with the world. So today, I always like to start practice with thinking about something that you're grateful for. Something that went well today, something that went well this week, something positive that you can focus on. So today's focus is on anxiety, and I want to just break that down a little bit. So the anticipation of fear, it triggers discomfort, and immediately we just want to cut off that pain, right? Because it's uncomfortable and we don't like it. Hello, anxiety, my dear old friend. Um, so what if, and this is where I'm going to challenge you, for the next week, what if you stop trying to fight it? What if you try to rather lean in and listen to what those emotions are telling you? Look for the lesson there, look for what you can learn. Um, I challenge you to become the observer of your thoughts rather than to become your actual thoughts. It's definitely easier said than done, and it certainly takes practice. But it's super cool when you get to the point where you can separate your thoughts from yourself, and you can say, okay, I'm over here and I have this thought, but I'm here and I see it, I recognize that I'm having that thought, and now I'm in control of how I respond to that thought, to that situation, to whatever it might be. So today's mantra for the class is I am aware. So keep that in the back of your mind. I'll probably even ask you to say it a couple times. So let's go ahead and grab the blanket or pillow or towel that you brought. Throw it in the middle of your mat here. You can probably face long way on your mat, but I'm going to face you so that you can see me a little bit better. So lift your hips up and then pull that fleshy part of the butt out. So you'll hear me talk about this a lot if you practice with me for any given or any length of time, but we carry a ton of stress, anxiety, and tension in our hips. So when we lift them up just a little bit, it makes this sitting posture just a little bit more comfortable. So as you're learning to practice yoga and meditation, we want to make sure that you're comfortable and that things don't hurt. So lifting your hips up is one way you can do that. So go ahead and just settle in here, stack your head over your heart over your pelvis. Close your eyes here and begin to just notice your body. Notice if you're holding on to tension anywhere. Notice the sounds around you, the quality of the air. What do you hear? What do you see? Hopefully nothing, because I hope your eyes are closed. How does the air feel? And how does your body feel in this space and in this shape? Now begin to just deepen your breath a little bit. Start to extend the length of the inhale. And feel that breath go all the way down into the belly. Now start to focus on lengthening the exhale and make it even with your inhale. So let's inhale for 3, 2, 1, and exhale 3, 2, 1. Inhale 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bat your eyelashes open. And let's start to just find a little gentle movement in the neck. So we're going to start just drawing little circles with our nose to the right. And then as you go, make that circle start to get bigger. And if you find anywhere here that's like crunchy in your neck or you're holding tension, stay there and work that out. You don't always have to be doing exactly what I'm doing. This is always about learning to cultivate your own home practice. All right, go ahead and reverse the direction now. So start small, and then those circles get bigger. Remember to keep breathing here. Beautiful. Now let's go back and forth, just gently nodding your head yes and no. Should start to feel the neck releasing here through the shoulders and the traps. Nice and slow movement here, mindful, aware. And now let's go side to side. So look to your left shoulder and then look over your right shoulder and sync this up with your breath here. Last one here and back to center. Okay, we're going to inhale, arms rise, gaze goes up. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more, inhale up. This time stay at the top, and then we're going to twist to the right on our exhale. Don't crank into this here, just a nice gentle stretch to start warming up our spine. Sit up nice and tall here. And then an inhale brings us back up through the center, and an exhale takes us into our twist to the left. 2 breaths here. On our next inhale, we come up through center. Exhale takes us in our twist to the right. One more full breath here. Inhale brings us up through center. Exhale, we twist to the left. Remember to keep breathing. The bottom of the next exhale, come back to center. Hands come together at heart center. Active hands here, pressing the palms into one another. And then we're going to bow the chin to the chest here and feel that awesome stretch in the back of the neck. Just hang out here for a second. Breathe. Be aware. Listen to the sound of your breath. One more breath. All right, take the hands down in front of the foot, the right foot here. And we're going to start to walk the fingertips out as far as you can here. If you want to come down to the forearms here, that option exists. But this is whatever feels comfortable for you today. So you should feel an awesome stretch here in the right hip if your right foot is in front. And yogi's choice here on how deep you go into this stretch. Whatever you choose here, let the head hang heavy and let the body weight just melt into the floor. Become heavy here. Release any tension that you might be feeling in your jaw or your forehead. Imagine sending your breath into that right hip. Start to feel your hips releasing the longer you sit here. And again, so much of that stress and anxiety is in our hips. So these little releases each day can really have a big impact over time. One more breath. And at the bottom of that exhale, walk the hands back up here. Switch the order of your feet here. So put the one in front that feels a little bit funny. For me, that's the left one. And same thing here. We always want to even out anything that we do on the right, we do on the left. So walk those hands forward as far as feels good for you. Maybe your forearms come to the earth, maybe they don't. But either way, the head melts and you get heavy. And send that breath into your left hip now. And nothing to do here, but just be aware and to breathe. Maybe you close your eyes. Remain aware. Notice if you're clenching in your forehead or through your jaw. Close your eyes here, relax, and breathe deep into that hip. One more breath. And roll it back up to a seat here. All right, slowly and mindfully pull the blanket or pillow or towel, whatever you chose, out from under you and find your way into your tabletop position. So hands and knees here, wrists are directly under the shoulders, knees are directly under the hip points, and your back comes into this flat back neutral spine position. And we're gonna head into cat cow. So inhale, drops the belly, gaze goes forward. Exhale, rounds the back. Inhale, drops the belly. Exhale, rounds, tuck the chin, arch the back. One more just like that. Inhale, drops the belly, and exhale, rounds the back. Now we're gonna go off the rails a little bit. Maybe we call this manic cat cow. I don't know, whatever you need to make you feel better, but I'm doing this on video, so you guys can do it in your own home. But here the purpose is to just move around through your cat cow postures and notice anywhere that it sticks in your body where you feel like a deeper stretch is needed, and then hang out there, and if that's not your jam, that's okay too. Stay here in your typical cat cow, but I invite you to play a little here. Be aware of your body, notice how it feels, notice where you might need a little extra love. All right, and then find that neutral spot again. And we're going to walk the hands forward a little bit, come up into our knees into a half push-up position here. And we're gonna lower all the way down to the belly. And then we're gonna press it up here for upward facing dog and then send it back into our child's pose. So that's the flow. We're gonna sync it with our breath now. So inhale brings us up and down to our belly. Exhale at the bottom. Inhale, rise, and then exhale, child's pose. 2 breaths here. And we inhale, roll it all the way down to the belly. Exhale. Inhale brings us up. And then exhale, child's pose. 2 breaths. And an inhale brings us back through center, all the way down. Exhale at the bottom. Inhale brings you up. And then exhale back to child's pose. This time, send the hands around behind you. Maybe you lock hands here. We're going to hang out here for 5 breaths. Just be aware of this stretch in your shoulders. Breathe deep here. Surrender. Beautiful. Roll it back up out of that. And we're gonna find our hands on the mat again, curl the toes under, and we're gonna peel it up here for downward facing dog. So peel the tail up towards the sky, drive the heels down, and then roll your elbow points forward here while pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. Pedal it out here, stretch to the back of the legs. So this is technically an inversion. I know that we're not standing on our head or doing handstands, but what we are doing is reversing the flow of blood to our brain, which is awesome. It helps stimulate blood flow, decreases anxiety. All right, and inhale brings the right leg up, and then exhale, we're gonna step it all the way through here, and then lower down on the back knee, untuck the back toes. Find your platform here, your footing. So yoga toes here, spread them nice and wide. And then you wanna take your knee and your femur and kind of plug it back into this right hip socket. Knee remains over your left ankle. And then when you're ready, arms rise. So you should feel an awesome stretch here in the left hip flexor through the front of the left leg. Plug these shoulders in here. Fingers are spread wide. Keep integrity in the arms. The bottom of your next exhale. Hands come to the ground, and then peel the tailbone back and your right toes up towards the sky. Little runner's lunge here, awesome stretch in the hamstring. And roll it back forward, curl the back toes under, step the left foot back and find that downward facing dog again. Big inhales here, big exhales, biggest breath you've taken all day. Your next inhale, your left leg lifts. And then exhale, step it up between the hands, lower down on the right knee this time, untuck the toes, find your platform here, your footing, plug the left femur back into that hip socket, keep your knee over your ankle, hug the belly up and in, and then when you're ready, arms rise. Make sure you're not hunching your shoulders up towards your ears here. Think about being long. Imagine that you're pulling up and away from your mat. And breathe. At the bottom of your next breath, fingertips come to the mat and then peel the left toe up towards the sky here and find your runner's lunge left side. Breathe here. Two more breaths. And roll it back through. Untuck the back toes, lift, and press it back up to downward facing dog. Pedal it out here. All right, walk the hands back towards the feet now and meet me in forward fold. Feet are hip width apart. Weight is in your heels here. You should be able to lift your toes off the ground and then play with your weight distribution here. So we started in our heels, but just find a little gentle rocking motion here and notice the different sensation in your body based on where your weight's distributed. Just be aware. Inhale brings us halfway up, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Next inhale brings us all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we breathe. Feel your blood flowing in the other direction. I love that feeling after being upside down. But just notice, observe. Inhale to go up. Exhale, fold it all the way down. Head hangs heavy. Ragdoll your arms here. Grab your elbows. Just be heavy. If you want a little extra stretch in your lower back, bend your knees here. If you're loving this hamstring jam like I am, keep them a little bit straighter, but anything is okay wherever you are. All right, inhale brings us halfway up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we breathe. All right, turn towards the long edge of your mat now and make these legs go pretty wide here. You should feel an immediate stretch here on the inside of the hamstrings. Toes are pointed directly forward. We're maintaining integrity in our belly here. And we're gonna reach up high here, take up space, be big. And then we're gonna fold here for wide-legged forward fold. So find motion here that if that feels good for you. If not, stay static. Remember, it should never hurt. So if you want to bring your head to the ground, walk your hands back through this way, if that's in your practice, do that now. If headstand is in your practice, this is a great time to take a headstand. And if you want to wishbone yourself, grab your toes here and fold. Whatever you choose here, keep breathing. One more breath. All right, unravel and start to heel toe the feet back towards the center here until you're just a little bit more than hip width apart. And then we're gonna send our weight back into our heels, drop the butt here into a yogi squat. So lots of hip openers today. Hip openers relieve stress and tension and anxiety. Yeah. So breathe here. Try to sit up nice and tall. Elbows press into the knees. Two more breaths. You got this. Hang on. And lower all the way down. Go ahead and turn back towards the short edge of your mat. And lower all the way down to your back here. Hug the knees up and in. And if you want to tuck your chin up, give yourself a big hug here. Little act of self-love. And then unravel, and soles of the feet come together on the mat here, Supta Baddha Konasana. So we do seated butterfly a lot. We don't do reclined all that much, but it is equally lovely. So walk your shoulder blades in towards the center here and try to get your back flat with the mat. And then just let your knees splay open and feel this awesome stretch here through the hip flexors up into the abs. Take your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. And just breathe. We're going to hang out here for a second. Just be aware. Two more breaths. All right. Send the right foot out towards the corner of the mat and the left foot out towards the other corner of the mat. Let your hands flop to the ground, and you guessed it, Shavasana. So try to get your back flat with the ground. Shavasana is Sanskrit for corpse pose. So what you want to do here is let your breath return to normal and just become heavy, become one with the ground. All you're doing here is existing. Enjoy these final few minutes. There's nowhere to be right now. Keep your mind here, focused on your breath. If your mind wanders, that's okay. It's completely normal. I'm here to remind you to bring it back to your breath. And let's survey your body, starting at the crown of the head, and release any tension in your forehead. Maybe stop squinting your eyes and release through the jaw. No teeth grinding here. Notice if you're holding any tension in your neck that you can release. Start to move down the arms. How do your biceps feel in your hands? Can you release anything? What about the front body? Are you holding on to anything in your chest or your abs that you could release? Now survey your back. And down into the hips now. Notice if you're clenching anywhere through the hips or butt. Now move down the legs into your knees. Notice how your calves are touching the ground and how your feet are relaxed. Now take your attention back to your breath. Now let's start to find a little gentle movement in our fingers and wrists. Start to wake the body back up from your Shavasana. You lift the arms off the ground. Take a big stretch up and overhead. And when you're ready, roll it back up to a seated position. Find your Sukhasana. Settle in here. Final moments of this class. Sit up nice and tall, head over heart, heart over pelvis. And continue to survey the body, the sounds around you. Notice how you feel. All right, bat your eyelashes open, hands together at heart center. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.